on in a flash. They played the mash. They played the monster mash.
I'm Luke Summerhays.
I'm James J. Miles.
I'm Andrew Rice.
I'm James the Juster Stewart.
And you're listening to Monster Mash.
On this episode, we're hunting the Tetsucabra.
Amphibians with unique jaws and tusks that they can use to sift through rocks for prey. They use their powerful hind legs to traverse steep terrain. It can also use the large boulders it digs up to obstruct a predator's vision and make a hasty retreat.
Has he ever made a retreat after putting up a boulder?
No, it's not something I've ever noticed.
I guess it doesn't think of us as a predator.
I don't know if it's just because I've been playing too much Overwatch.
There's times when he sets the rock down, as we've seen in our last few hunts there, but he didn't kind of go underground or escape or anything. He just continues attacking whoever was hitting him.
Yeah.
He digs to escape. I've seen him do that, of course. But
Yeah, he does that, but that's generally just when you've done enough damage on him and he decides to leave.
He's never ever like put a rock up and then going, oh, they can't see me. Well, away I go.
So he tries to peer behind the rock.
You cheeky little monkey.
Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I like that they call it an amphibian, but I've never once seen it go underwater.
Actually, like if they went back to like the try and brought the water back,
Moo!
Tetsu underwater.
You'd think there'd be a section, wouldn't there? Like.
But you meet him in like volcanoes and stuff.
Swim. So,
Yeah, he never seems like a watery monster to me. He always seems like a rocky.
There's water in the volcanoes as well.
I suppose. But like Jay said, he doesn't come across like a watery guy, does he? He's big and red and sort of
Speaks to water.
looks like he's made of rock. Yeah.
That's true. That is true. So maybe they're just fucking shit around descriptions. Is that what we're saying?
Well, we do seem to start every single episode by disagreeing with something in the Hunter's notes.
Get together, game designers.
So yeah, your Tetsucabra. He's a great big frog.
Pretty much like one of the the Argyris and like the Volvodon, like just a great big version of a real world animal, but with a bit more threatening.
I think they've strayed.
Good frogs don't have nasty tusks.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever felt particularly threatened by a frog.
They have strayed pretty far from like frog, though.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like the Argyris really is just a bear sort of thing. Whereas Tetsucabra
And obviously Tetsu has a tail as well, which frogs don't typically have.
but I mean, like we said during the hunt itself, the Tetsu's tail isn't really a very important thing about the Tetsu. I mean, I don't think you can cut it or break it, can you?
No.
I never quite understood it. It has its two sort of phases, doesn't it? It's got the sort of covered in rock type phase, and then you've got the spiky phase. I don't know if that's something
Spiky
that
phase
we're
where just all the white stuff sticks out of it.
Yeah,
That's
so
the white tail.
I don't know if it's a case of like we're actually doing anything to it to do that, or if that's just him switching whenever he fancies. But it's not something I've totally worked
One
out.
of us are related to like his rage mode in any way.
I thought it was, yeah, like it gets spikier when he gets enraged.
Could be.
So like when he charges after you, like interior the tail was like into like then.
So I can't really remember anything else that he does to kind of denote when he's angry.
Just starts jumping about like a big prick, doesn't he?
I think he has a few.
Yeah, but
puffs.
typically all the monsters
Smoke.
have like a telltale like kind of sign that like
Does he
Diablo.
not have a few like extra sort of puffs around his face, like little.
No,
So I have noticed.
I think his tail does go spike when he's in rage mode actually, so that's maybe a good point.
Appearance-wise, he reminds me of. Have any of you sat through Star Wars: Attack of the Clones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the monsters at the end in the arena? And there's the big one that Anakin rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just got the same sort of tusks and the colour. It's called I've looked it up. Apparently, it's called a reek.
A reek.
Yeah, R-E-E-K.
Like from Game of Thrones, or is
Yeah,
that not?
Reek rhymes with meek. Oh yeah,
Podcast. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. The reek's but more like a T-Rex, or like not a T-Rex. I'm on about like a rhino.
yeah.
I always get those two mixed up. Oh.
No, I was being like a dinosaur, and then I was being like a Triceratops,
Mhm.
but then I realised he's not really like a Triceratops. So
His colouring's pretty much the same, isn't it?
I think
Yeah,
it's
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 kinda-
mostly the colouring that does it, and then just
And
the
the fact
rough,
he's got
scaly
tusks.
hide and the tusks. Yeah.
I suppose it's to like make him look quite threatening.
Mm.
Like the red and black, is supposed to be like basically.
Well, I think with the
yeah.
Tetsu, the colouring is based on like poison frogs.
Yeah.
And it's, as well, like typically though, when they design monsters, like they have like a monster has a set area, so their colouring is based off the area.
Yeah,
that they're
and
known
he is.
for, and Tetsu is known for the volcano, so it makes sense that he's like kind of black and red, kind of blend in with the volcano area.
I think the most interesting thing about the Tetsucabra is not so much him as what you can make from him.
Yeah,
Because
it's kind of like
in the very early game, Tetsu armor is like where it's at.
That's true.
It's what I'm using in
Yeah, it's
Frog
a
just now as
solid
well.
first set, especially in Generations.
Because he is, the big tough guy of sort of the first couple ranks.
Now, the armor itself, I don't know if you've noticed this as well, but it does look a lot. It's like kind of Japanese only design.
Yes, and Tetsucabra, the name, is Japanese, and it's multiple words which mean iron and deep.
So I mean that kind of thing is reflected in its armor itself. Like it's got like the traditional oni mask. It's kind of like a big, looking face. I suppose then it ties in with his demon toe. Yeah, makes sense.
It is a very cool set, and it's like I said, it's the standard thing to do in the early game is get the Tetsu set. And like, at the start of the game, Tetsucabra seems like a real like beast of a monster.
Yeah, I definitely think when you've got weaker armor, you can pack a hell of a punch. I think definitely at the stage that we're at now.
He hits really
not so,
hard,
so.
and like just to look at him, he looks like a fucking tough guy. So he's very intimidating at the start of the game.
And he's like a lot of his. I think it's in the first monster you'll run into where he does things like tremor. Where you can't really move for a few seconds,
Yeah,
and then
tremors can be a pain.
and like having to watch out for him like jumping up on top of you. So you have to be kind of really aware of that. Just was in that respect, he is quite a tough early monster as well. I suppose we're getting to the stage where those monsters are starting to crop up, the ones that are going to pose a bit more challenge in your drones. But odd that like he eats big, massive boulders like out of the ground. Like it said in the monster notes that he uses that to hunt prey, but I don't really know what monsters would be hiding. Like you talk about like bugs,
Yeah.
like hiding under rocks.
Or does he like pick the rock up and kind of try and smash a monster like head in with it?
Yeah, like I don't know what the Tetsu would hunt, so to speak.
Frogs go for bugs. Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe
Maybe
a-
like
it's
cell
like-
or something.
Like a Celtus, yeah, something like a Celtus
Yeah.
or something like that, and like he'll chuck the rock at them and try and like stun
would,
them.
Yeah, he'd obviously chucking the rock, and also the big tusks would be for like piercing the shell.
Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
skeleton.
It's a bit odd that like one of the if you think about a frog in the real world, like one of the first things you think is maybe like a tongue like flying out and grabbing a fly or something.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd that and we've got
He doesn't
kinda
really
jump
have a
the gun
tongue.
here.
I guess that's probably down to the tusks, though, isn't it? He's got that as a weapon instead.
I suppose they don't want to make him like too much like a frog in that respect. Does they want to still make him a bit more monstrous? So it's not just like, hey, there's a big frog roaming about, go kill it. It's
I
actually,
mean, are
it's
we
actually a threat.
running into trouble here of the difference between frogs and toads? Like, I don't know enough about.
I think he is more like a toad than a frog because toads are more land creatures than frogs. Frogs spend more time in the water.
Apparently, frogs have smooth, moist skin and long, stripy legs, and are likely to be found in damp habitats. Toads have warty skin, golden eyes, and prefer to crawl rather than hop. If threatened,
So
a toad can puff itself up.
Pure and
Definitely
simple.
more of a toad by the sounds of that.
I
Yeah.
mean, like you wouldn't say that he was. I suppose that explains why he's not in the water then all the time. I suppose that's why he's in the volcano areas.
Yeah.
Just roaming about, being more of a rock monster.
His skin does look fairly warty and bumpy and
It's
like
quite
hard,
sort of
calloused
scaly,
armour.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That's- Which I don't think is a very froggy thing.
Well, again, at first glance, I don't really think frog. I think sort of big dinosaur or
Yeah.
sort of reptile-y thing.
Like in regards to like the design of the Drilltusk, like yeah, again, it wasn't like the Red Helm Argerus where the Argerus was a lot more differently designed. Like we spoke about last week, like the punk motif. The Drilltusk just seemed like an angrier regular
Although
Tetsucabra.
he looked a bit spikier in general, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture of him now, and he's definitely more spikier on his back.
He looked to me like it was the same monster drawn by a different artist.
Yeah,
Like it's very similar, but like there's way spikier and he's got more sharp edges on him. It's just like
You ever noticed as well though, like the Tetsucabra looks like he's got big giant like buck teeth. Like
yeah, I
he's
suppose I can see that. Yeah,
hybrid.
oh yeah, I see that.
like Meta from Cars.
I like the description of the Drilltusk as well. It's quite good from the monster notes. It says An exceptionally large Tetsucabra with tusks that can drill through earth, or even metal. If the drill tusk weren't constantly shattering boulders on its enemies, or trying to crush them with its weight, one could almost appreciate the masterful way it digs. That's like a very WarioWare smooth moves like description. If the drill tusk weren't constantly shattering boulders on its enemies, or trying to crush them with its weight, one could almost appreciate the masterful way it digs.
I also like the little description we got when we went into the quest with the drill tusk. It was talking about he had a tremendous tusk.
No politics in Monster Mash. It's not here.
Yeah,
I mean,
not tremendous tusks, just a tremendous tusk.
Yeah, just the one.
Just the one.
Don't look at my other one, just look at the tremendous one, please.
But ignore that. He likes to hide his other tusk that's not so glorious behind a rock.
He's like a 15-year-old girl. He always takes his fucking profile pictures side on with his hair over the other tusk. He thinks he knows his good angle and he will only ever take photos from that angle.
I suppose in terms of like, the kind of how they influence the world as well, they're much like the other monsters. Like they'll come up into an area and start causing a lot of havoc, like causing rampages. I think in 4 Ultimate they were in the caves and like they were stopping the mine as a hearth, like doing mining. Is that right?
Yeah, well, definitely with the Tetsu, you can see why he'd be something that needed getting rid of. Because if you're trying to build something, and the Tetsu is just like ripping the very earth up from the ground, it'll fuck everything up.
Yeah, you're not going to get good foundations there, are you?
So I can understand where they're doing like, mate, we can't have a Tetsu around here. We're trying to build houses. Can you get rid of him, please?
Especially because you can cause like tremors and rip up boulders and.
Yeah. Like we're past like the very, very first monsters, and we're starting to get into the ones that are genuinely like. There's a good reason they need hunting. They are dangerous.
Yeah, they're not like.
They are monsters rather than just animals.
Yeah, they're not like an Arzuros or something where it's just going to be like wandering about and it might, if you get near it, it might kill you.
Anything to defend the poor Arzuros.
Well, the Arzuros was quite, peaceful, but the Tetsu genuinely gets quite pissed off and causes a lot of trouble, doesn't it?
The Arzuros is a beautiful blueprint.
One thing we didn't speak about is that he can like gob out a big stamina draining like loogie at you.
See, now that's the most froggy thing he does.
Yeah.
Because I can definitely imagine fucking slime and stuff with frogs.
No, it doesn't paralyze you, it drains you of all your stamina.
It drains your stamina.
Like your stamina immediately goes, no matter how high it is, to 0.
It's like every time I see it, because it's something similar that the Vulcan does. I just always think it's like a paralysis thing.
Does Evolving do it as well?
Yeah, he definitely kind of spits out a shot, yeah.
Big gob.
And it's definitely paralysis for the Vulcan.
Oh, apparently when he's got the boulder in his mouth, his tail becomes more vulnerable. So there you are.
It's really weird. I don't know what they're going for there.
I suppose that makes sense, like because you're not going to be attacking the Tetsu in the face at that stage. You want to get around the back of him. And
It makes sense from a gameplay perspective, but I don't understand how holding a boulder is going to make his tail any different.
Because he's exerting the force, like
Yeah, it's not like you can't attack his tail
clenching his butt.
when he's not holding a rock. So it's like, I don't get why it's more exposed when he is holding a rock.
He's clenching his cheeks, isn't he? He's lifting something really heavy, he's straining himself. He's using his tail muscles to keep it aloft.
You're saying he's prairie dogging the whole time.
That's all we can say on the guy.
He is big and cool, and fighting him was like a big part of the early game in sort of 4 and Generations, because you really wanted that armour. But in terms of him and his design, he's not that interesting, really. But I'm glad he's there. And he's just quite different from the other monsters you're fighting around that time. So he does mix up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely holds his own on.
He's surrounded by a lot of sort of dinosaurs and things, and then he's just big, 4-legged, chucking rocks about.
And I think he is a good sort of first area boss type, because he's strong enough and tough enough.
Yeah, he's going to test you in ways that an Arzuros and stuff like that won't.
He feels like a step up at the start of the game. He feels like he's at another level than all the other monsters you're fighting around the same time.
So make sure to tune in next week as Monster Mash will be back in the Raptor game as we hunt the Velocidrome. Thanking you.
Just love that, thanking you. I know the shit, but that's all I got, so we'll just
That's
accept
all I've
it.
got. It's just a dinosaur, right? Dinosaur.
And if you've enjoyed this, you can give us a 5-star rating on the old iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter at Monster Mash Pod. And you can tweet at AndyMan949.
Pictures of sad frogs. Really, really sad frogs.
Thanks for listening.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow.
Dear.
I didn't even notice you had me then.
Lads!
I was at half health there.
What was that all about?
And I'd like to point out as well that
After all these weeks!
I don't know what you're talking about. I think the recording will show that Andy died. Won't it?
It might.
I just like to point out as well that I'm in guild style when I'm normally in aerial with the glaive.
The excuses.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh!
I'm the fucking king!
Because it's the first time you've not fainted on one of these quests.
All of you motherfuckers!
Yeah, that's the very first. How many podcasts have we done of this? And that's the first time I failed on them, on the no armor quests.
Yeah.
I
I did see him just kind of like crouching in the corner and whimpering him down the Tetsucabra near him, so yeah.
Fuck off!
Let's do this.
This great Tetsu.
I wonder what will break first. Your tusks or your back?
And then the other thing I've got to do to throw in the works is the 7th to the 9th, well, so technically the 6th and the 9th I'm in Ireland, so I can't do any of those days, which covers both Sunday and a Wednesday.
Make sure to put those dates in the recording, like so everyone knows to follow Andy to those areas.
Tweet which part of Andy Man's body you'll cut off to Andy Man 99.
I'm pretty sure they could fucking do that at home. Everyone knows I live right next to the fucking train station because you can hear the fucking train announcements. It's a very small circle that I could live in. Heck, if I do get murdered, then at least we know we've got a listener. So
I don't think I've ever been scared of a Tetsu when he actually takes the rock from out of the ground.
If you smell.
I think these players might be a bit too old to
Oh,
be
he's back!
Whoa!
That's not a double joke. No, it's a double joke. Get away from me!
So we're killing Devil Joe, yeah?
Well, our pants!
Can't believe I thought that was the Tetsu coming back. I was like, oh, he's back! I know it was a big green bastard.
Polos have best before days.
What pants?
Have best
Oh,
before
polos.
days. 'Cause they
We
don't.
were thinking about fucking Devil Joe coming to kill us with probably one hit easily, and then Andrew Man.
That was
will
in
these
the other area.
go moldy?
It's not worried about mouldy, they don't taste right.
They've got a big hole in them!
I'm concerned. I'm gonna get ill.
Had to be Devil Joe, didn't it?
It must have been Joe, but it's over now.
It's gotta be Joe, it's gotta be Joe, it's gotta be Devil Joe.
Oh, nice.
Wait.
Fucked him up, lads.
Nice wasted trap there.
At least nobody died on that one.
I was actually throwing the trap down to save the Tetsucabra because I really love frogs. I never kill frogs in video games.
Fuck you, man.